What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? This is going to be your review of Love and Hip Hop New York, Season 10, Episode 4. So we pick up where we left off last week with Yandy and Chrissy arguing at the club. And, I feel like Chrissy walked in the door on 20, and then she went to 30. But at the end of the day, there's just a really bad history between these two women. And I honestly don't know if they'll ever find a common ground because Chrissy really doesn't give Yandy the opportunity to upset her. You know what I'm saying? Like Yandy, Chrissy's fuse with Yandy is this short. And if Yandy says the sky is light purple instead of the sky is blue, it's gonna be a problem. And so basically that's kind of what happened, that they were arguing. And Chrissy was just like, look, you're going to calm down. You're not going to be disrespectful. I'm going to need you to bring it down. And Yandy was like, I don't even understand the issue because my beef isn't even with you. We were arguing about the fact that Kimbella felt the need to go back and tell you what was being said. And then Kimbella was like, oh, no, no, no. I'm going to need you to keep that same energy because you was talking trash, about that woman. Now, last week, I made a distinction between what Kimbella said versus what Yandy said, and I said she didn't repeat Yandy's words word for word, and y'all in the comments were saying, but her intent was clear. I cannot argue with that. You are correct. Her intent, Yandy's intent was to clown them for the house being in foreclosure and to insinuate that it was because she was no longer managing, Jimmy's money. The intent was clear. I'm just saying that ain't what she actually said. I feel like Kimbella was hyping it up. What Yandy did was bad enough. Kimbella didn't need to hype it up. But neither here nor there. The result is the same. Chrissy was pissed. We also found out in that conversation that it came out that Yandy is doing business with Eric, the same guy that Chrissy is doing business with in her Millionaire Black Girls Club, whatever that is. So we'll get back to that a little bit later on, how Chrissy felt about that thing. So then we see Tahiri and Joe Budden going shopping together, looking for something to wear to the wedding. Honestly, I feel like this scene was an opportunity for them to just kind of give us more background information for people like myself who haven't been watching the show from the beginning and didn't see those first couple of seasons with Joe Budden and Tahiri and all of that. Because we found out about Joe Budden's drug use, which he had mentioned last season as well when he came back last season. We found out a little bit more about the back and forth of their relationship and really how long they had been messing with each other and how deep their situation went. We see that they're in a decent place. He said that they don't talk often, but they're cordial and they're in a good place where there's no animosity there. And he was kind of expressing that he was feeling a little bit funny about going to the wedding of his baby mama ex-girlfriend, but y'all know it's crazy. These relationships, you build these relationships with these people who have passed, and then it does become a little awkward, the closer you become friends with certain people and all of that. And we see this throughout the episode because now that Safari and Erica are getting married, they have so many friends with other people that it all is a mishmash. It's a mishmash. So then we see Yandy was having a little get together at her house. Rich Dollar showed up with his new protege, Ski the girl, the rapper. Jonathan was there, Juju was there, and they got to talking about Safari and how, Safari's kind of really been acting a little funny, with the whole Erica thing and the wedding and all that good stuff. And then they were talking about Kimbella and, how disappointed she sort of was in Kimbella. And she was basically saying how, I'm sorry, not Kimbella, Erica. Sorry, Erica. And she was talking about how, Safari has sort of, well, pretty much chosen a side, that he's not going to be with her, that he's going to kind of keep his distance from Yandy. Yandy said he doesn't really talk to her anymore. They don't really have conversations. And, if Erica's around, he don't, just that whole, oh, you with somebody now you acting a little funky. And Yandy was like, she don't really have no beef with Erica. Like their relationship has been a little rocky, but they've never had a they've never had a confrontation. They've been a part of confrontations with other people. And once again, they show us the flashbacks in case you don't know. and they talk about how Erica is can be jealous and how Erica don't like sharing her man or woman. And that maybe that's where Safari's coming from. And they were talking about trying to get Safari to do a record with the new rapper chick. And they were saying it might be an issue for Erica because she, don't be feeling it. And of course, old girl was like, I ain't got like I'm not trying to be with Safari. I was just, trying to get on a record with him, like I ain't got no beef. So yeah, so that was that. Then we see Mr. Pressure, and we get to learn a little bit more about him. Y'all remember Pressure from last week? He's a rapper slash entrepreneur trying to start a record label. We found out that he's been with the woman that he's with now. They've been together since they were in the sixth grade. They have two children. Now, I don't think they're married, which is interesting. But he said that he had a scholarship. He had a D1 scholarship to come to Northwestern, which is a really, prestigious college. And for him to get a scholarship, so that tells you that there is some intelligence there because he didn't say it was a sports scholarship, did he? I don't remember him saying it was a sports scholarship. I think he said it was a D1 school, so maybe it was sports. Neither here nor there. The scholarship fell through when he got the baby mama pregnant and they became teenage parents. He said it's been kind of hard, but he's been putting his money together. He's moving them out of the city. They bought a house in New York. I mean, in Newark, and they're moving to New Jersey. He didn't say Newark. He said New Jersey. Lord, work with me today, y'all. They're moving to New Jersey. Um, and then he went on to talk about how she can be jealous and she can have some issues and that, you know, um, doesn't always know how to play nice with his artists when it comes to other women, other female artists. And he talked about how his girlfriend um, isn't quite getting along with Miss Ski. What's the girl name? Ski something. Ski. Anyway, they're not getting along because she felt disrespected the first time she met her. He introduced her to them, and the first thing out of old girl's mouth was, I need to talk to him alone. And his girlfriend felt disrespected. I don't know. I guess I know why, but I don't know why. Like if this is my manager and we're talking business, I get it that you're his girlfriend, but you're not I'm not doing business with you and I need to have a private conversation with him. And she said, hey, how you doing? Nice to meet you. Is it okay if I speak to him alone for a minute? I don't feel like that was disrespectful, but somebody else might. I don't know. Then we see Erica and Safari. Erica is stressing out. She's going through the whole pregnancy thing. She's nauseous. She's heartburn. She doesn't feel well. And she's trying to plan a wedding in less than 3 weeks because they decided that I guess they wanted to get married sooner rather than later, but they wanted to hurry up and get married as soon as possible because they didn't want the belly to become too much of an issue. So they're trying to hurry up and get the wedding done, but of course they want to do this elaborate wedding. They don't want to do a little basic, small, little intimate gathering. So of course everything is costing more because it's last minute and their short timeline. So she's trying to do the guest list. Safari is like really not trying to overexert himself. Like he ain't really trying to do nothing extra. But she's fussing at him about it or whatever. Like, look, we need to get this done. I gotta get this, and you are not helping. So they get on the conversation about Yandy. Now, Erica wasn't all gung ho about Yandy coming, but she didn't tell him I don't want Yandy to be there. She was just like, I'm not understanding the situation because every time I'm around, Yandy acts a little funny towards me. Like it's starting to make me think that maybe it's something going on between the two of y'all, which is ridiculous. And he told her that was ridiculous. Y'all know Safari can't hold water. If he had slept with Yandy, everybody would know he slept with Yandy. Anyway, but I understand her feeling that way though. If every time she's around Yandy don't have nothing to say, yet he's saying that Yandy's one of his closest friends. That is weird. And so she asked him, like, look, are you inviting her to the wedding or not? And of course he's kind of he looking crazy, like, well, I mean, and again, he picked up on the vibe. In his mind, he picked up on a vibe that she didn't want Yandy to come. She never said Yandy can't come. But he know his woman. He probably knew what vibe she was putting out. And so he was like, nah, I'm not going to invite Yandy. Okay, so now Chrissy is meeting up with her boy Eric, right? And she's like, "Look, I had a conversation with Yandy, and Yandy is giving me the impression that the two of y'all are doing business, and I need to know what the deal is." Because basically, what Erica's, I mean, what Chrissy's saying is, if you're doing business with her, I don't want you doing business with her. Either you're doing business with me or you're doing business with her, because I don't rock with her like that, and I don't want to be connected with her business wise at all. And Eric was like, nah, it's a man Eric named Eric. He was like, nah, we're not doing business together. He said she, reached out to me about doing some business, but that's it. Like it never went any further than that. And I was just like, I don't know. I don't know. I think he might be lying. I do. I think he might be lying because he want to keep the peace, but he also is a businessman. And if Yandy gonna be making money, then. But basically, Chrissy let it be known. Well, look, I mean, I'm just letting you know that if you rocking with her, I ain't really trying to rock with her. So I don't want you doing business with her. Whatever. Then we see this meeting, which was this was such a wasted scene because I feel like the whole purpose of this scene was just for Yandy to hype herself up and make herself look like this wonderful philanthropist out in Newark doing great things. And I don't want to take nothing away from it because if you are, especially as someone who works in a school, I appreciate anybody that does anything extra for schools and for the kids. But at the other hand, it was just such a weird scene. She meets with the mayor of Newark, shouts out to Baraka, and the whole time he's just going, mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And while he's doing, mm-hmm, she's going through her whole resume of everything she's ever done for kids. Oh, we're creating this program and we're creating that program. And it does sound like she's actually creating some great opportunities because what it sounds like is that she's investing in vocational skills and she's training kids on how to do vocational skills, which is a great thing because somewhere like in the last 10 to 15 years, the education system has turned away from teaching kids vocational skills and making everything college prep. Well, at the end of the day, everybody's not going to college. I mean, it just is what it is. Nor should everybody go to college. That's why the student debt is so high because kids go to college for 1 or 2 years, take out all these loans, end up dropping out. Now they got to pay loans back for a degree they don't even have. It's bad enough that I'm paying loans back for degrees that I do have, much less if I never got the degree and I still got to pay you. But learning a vocational skill, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, there are people who are in vocational that make more money than me. I'm just gonna keep it a buck. So it sounds like she's doing some great things, but like I said, this whole scene seemed like it was just her patting herself on the back for doing it. But whatever. I don't want to sound like a hater. I'm glad to see somebody out here doing it, but so when she got done, she was like, "I just know nothing goes down in Newark without your stamp of approval. So I just want to make sure it's cool that we keep doing these things and expanding our program." And of course, he was like, "Yeah, like sound good to me." I mean, I don't know what they expected him to say after that long, drawn out pitch you just gave him. What are you supposed to say? No, don't do nothing for the kids. But anyway, so they leave out of the office, and that's when Yandy proceeds to have a conversation with her business partner, and they talk about the real estate situation again. And come to find out, Yandy had met with old dude and they had taken a picture and it was on Instagram. And next thing you know, he posted on his Instagram page. Then he took it down off of his Instagram page. And the business partner ended up calling him and asking him, "Yo, what's up? Why you take the picture down?" And he said, Chrissy ain't really want me to put it up there. I didn't really feel like arguing about it. I just took the picture down. And Yandy was like, "Well, why didn't you tell me?" And she was like, "Because I just thought it was stupid and it was petty. Like, I didn't see what the big deal was. I just thought the whole thing was petty." So now Yandy is like, "See, this is what I'm talking about. I'm trying to make deals. I'm trying to buy blocks. Chrissy rehabbing houses. Like, you not on my level, boo. Like, you just trying to make it, you trying to block my money. You just trying to block my bag. Like, that is ridiculous. That is ridiculous. I'm out here making," basically, she was like, "You making small money moves. I'm making big money moves, and you need to get out my way." That's how I took it. But it's whatever. So Tahari and Safari meet up. So Harry has a Dominican salon. She said when she moved back to New York, she invested with her cousin, and they have like a full service Dominican salon in New York. So that's where he was. And I don't know the whole story with Tahari. So let me say this, Tahari. I don't know her whole story. So if there's some stuff that went down, that it is what it is. But what I like so far that I'm seeing is that she gives some really good advice. She gave Erica some good advice, and then Erica halfway followed her advice, and when she didn't do everything she told her to do, then she came back and said, I told you to talk to him about a prenup. I ain't tell you to ambush the man about a prenup. And it's the same thing here. She's talking to Safari, and Safari is doing the breakdown, the back and forth with the whole Yandy Erica thing. And she's telling him, you're handling it wrong. Like, you got to be upfront with Erica. You got to be honest about the situation. Like, the way you handling this, you going about this all wrong, and you're gonna create a bigger problem. And of course, Safari like, what? I mean, what? I don't know. Safari, you playing games. You're gonna create a whole nother problem for yourself over something stupid. Something as simple as inviting your friend to your wedding. Like, so what? It sounds like this wedding gonna be so big that it doesn't matter that she there. Like, you creating a situation that is so unnecessary. Anyway, honey. So Chrissy and Yandy decided to have a sit down, which I don't know who thought this was a good idea. But again, Chrissy is not trying to hear nothing Yandy has to say. And Yandy is coming in there with her, I'm just trying to make money moves, conversation with the whole Eric thing. And Chrissy was like, yeah, and basically, I'm gonna be honest with you. For me, this whole conversation came down to Chrissy letting Yandy know that the script has flipped. You need to be careful who you disrespect on the way up, because you never know who you gonna meet at the top. And now I'm in a situation to block your bag, and that's what I'm gonna do. I don't care how petty it is. I don't care how stupid it sounds. That's where I'm at. And that's what she's doing. She said, she even said that. She said, well, if I'm in a position to tell him, shut it down, I'm going to shut it down. And you need to be careful about how you disrespect people and how you treat people on your way up. And that's really what it boils down to. Now, Chrissy, of course, as always, she was on 20. She was calling a woman dumb and all this other stuff. And Yandy was like, look, I haven't called you out your name. But y'all know, she said, but at the end of the day, and Chris was like, well, you're lying. You said that you're already doing business with Eric. Eric said he not doing business with you. I went to go pull the records to see if your company was connected, and I didn't find your company. Now all of a sudden, it's not Yandy's company, it's her holding company. Chrissy said, I ain't find your name on nothing. Now all of a sudden, well, it doesn't matter whose name is on everything. I write the checks. And then she gonna say dummy. No, Chrissy ain't no dummy. It sounds like you got a whole lot of layers to your business over there. So, and I understand that in business, this kind of stuff that goes down. I get it. But, Chrissy was like, look, you made it seem like you and Eric are working on this like major, like y'all are like business, business, business. And when I do the research and I break it all the way down, you really ain't in business with him like you said you are. And she said, and that's why I can't rock with you, because you're a liar. You exaggerate, you tell half truths, and that's why I can't rock with you like that. So Yandy ends up walking away. She's like, look, I'm not doing this. You calling me out my name, you talking to me crazy, I can't deal with it. Chrissy was like, all right, whatever. Cheers. So we at the showcase for Ski, and Rich Dollars is there, Yandy is there, Safari is there, Erica is there, Juju, everybody there except for Chrissy. I don't think Chrissy was there. And a couple of things went down at the performance. Old girl came out and she performed, and I mean, she, not my kind of music, but she did her thing. I guess everybody was impressed by it. Rich Dollars was there, and he actually did have some industry people there that he has relationships with. Now, Pressure was there, and he went up to go talk to her before her performance, and he's trying to basically say, yo, look, what's up? You trying to roll with Rich, or you rolling with me? What are you doing? I thought me and you, we were going to work together. I thought me and you had something going on. You know, why is Rich here with all these people? And dude was a little intimidated because he was like, I mean, Rich did actually come through, with some industry, some hitters. And oh, girl was like, look, at the end of the day, I'm gonna roll with the person who I feel like can do the most for my career. You ain't doing nothing. You made all these promises. The only thing you've been talking about is getting me plastic surgery. I ain't heard nothing about my skill. I ain't heard nothing about getting in the studio. I ain't heard nothing about any of those types of things. All I heard about was I'm gonna send you down to Dr. Curves down in Miami and get you right. She said, and that ain't to me, that's not what I want to hear. So after the performance was over, he rolled up on her. I actually want to call him Memphis. Pressure rolled up on her and was like, that was a good performance. That was really great. But trying to woo her, trying to do the whole woo woo woo. But I really want you to be with me. I want you to work with me. Like I really, feel like I can do some things for you. And she was like, look, you ain't showed me nothing. Like you need to show me what you can really do because I'm not, so far I'm not impressed with what you've done for me. Now while they're having this conversation, who come rolling up? His girlfriend, baby mama, and he was like, "What you doing here?" Because he had already told her not to show up because he was like, "I know she can't handle it when I'm doing business with other female artists, so I told her not to come." Well, her thing was, "Yeah, he might have told me not to come, but I'm in this with him. We doing this music this record company together, and I want to be a part of it." So now, when baby mama, I'm sorry, I'm gonna call her baby mama. When girlfriend Jen, when she rolls up in there, Pressure is holding Ski's hands, right? And from afar, it could probably look like maybe they were having an intimate conversation. But it's funny because she was saying to him, Ski was saying, "Why you holding my hands? Why you holding my hands?" Like she was telling him, "Let go of her hands." So, oh, girl rolls up, and first thing out her mouth is, yo, you don't want this to go left or whatever. And the chick, and Ski was like, what you mean go left? Like, what is wrong with you? She was like, I'm not scared of you. You don't have to be scared of me. You don't have to be scared of me. So he ends up dragging Jen out of there because they about to get into it. And while he's pulling her out the club, Ski is like clowning. You know what I mean? To her credit, she didn't do no bunch of yelling back and forth. She didn't get loud. Security didn't have to come and drag her in the other direction. But she was clowning a little bit. She was doing little karate moves and kicking her leg up, and she was clowning. Now Rich is on the other side of the club watching all of this, and he was like, "See, I need her to chill out because I got some hitters here, and they don't want no drama. They don't want to see her jumping across tables and stuff like that." But to her credit, she really didn't do all of that. I must say, like I said, she was clowning, but nothing ridiculous. I mean, the woman, I felt like the girlfriend came in there a little out of pocket, but it is what it is. That's just my 2 cents, I guess. This is running long. Good Lord. I didn't realize I had this much to say. All right, we almost done real quick. So, now while all of this was going on, Jonathan is having a conversation with Tahiri and Juju, I think. And Tahiri is letting them know that Erica has been trying to hook her up with Joe. And Jonathan being so extra, talking about some, oh my gosh, Erica's just being messy. Erica's being messy. And she was like, what you talking about? You don't think that it's messy that she's trying to hook her ex up with her ex's ex? I mean, that is just so messy. That's just so messy. But I'm thinking to myself, but Tahiri was Joe Budden's ex before Sin was his ex. So all she's doing is trying to put the two of them back together, thinking that they should be back together. I don't see the messy in it. And neither did Tahiri. And I don't think Juju really saw it either at first until Jonathan kept trying to be so extra about it. But whatever. Now, here's last but not least, because um Safari ends up coming over to where Yandy is to speak to Yandy. Mind you, they've been in the club together the whole time, and Safari never even spoke to Yandy. But he makes his way over to speak to Yandy, and of course, Erica was like, well, if you're going, I'm going. So while they're sitting there talking, Yandy brings up the point of they're basically talking about them being uncomfortable around each other and the fact that they never really had any beef and why aren't they friends or why aren't they cool or whatever. And then she brings up the part about Safari inviting her to the wedding and her telling Safari that she didn't really feel comfortable going to the wedding until her and Erica sort of cleared the air because she felt like maybe Erica felt some kind of way or that things were just a little awkward with them. So of course, Erica was like, "Excuse me, you invited her to the wedding?" Now Safari's sitting there looking stupid, like, "What? Huh? Who? What?" He said, "Well, I didn't really invite her. I asked her if she wanted to come." So Yandy pulls out the text messages, and from the text messages, it sounds like he's taking Yandy's temperature, but he is inviting her to the to the wedding, you know. And Erica's like, "No, that is an invitation. Like, we're not going to get into semantics. We're not going to do that back and forth. You invited Erica to the wedding. I mean, you invited Yandy to the wedding after you told me you weren't inviting Yandy to the wedding. We're not playing these games." So Erica's pissed now because she was like, "Yo, I just tore up the damn prenup, and this dude is lying to me." Because that's what it is. You playing semantics, Safari, but at the end of the day, you lied. So that's where it ended, y'all. We gonna see where this whole thing picks up. And Yandy felt some kind of way because Yandy was like, "I really wasn't even trying to put nobody on blast. I thought Erica knew. Like, I didn't know Erica didn't know I wasn't invited to the wedding." And in Yandy's defense, she really wasn't. Like, she really wasn't. But now pulling up them text messages, but it didn't start off with her being messy at all. Anyway, this ran way long, but let me know what y'all think. Drop it in the comments, please.